All right, so you are flipped to the next page of your notes. I do want you on the right side since this is a new unit. So for me, the left side actually is blank, and that's okay. This is going in after our notes on multiplying integers that have, we had some negative numbers in there. So this is unit 4, goes in the upper right-hand corner. And then you will write our SOL number and topic. So SOL 6.6. C, order of operations. So I'm going to start by writing out, there's probably kind of a mnemonic device you've learned to help you remember the order of operations, but I might be writing it a little bit differently from how you've seen it in the past. You've probably talked about Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally or PEMDAS, but I'm going to write it vertically. I'm going to start with the P, skip along, write the E. The M and the D I will write on the same line, and then the A and the S. So these are really 4 steps that we're going to talk about. Let's start with step 1, which is parentheses. And some schools, they actually don't use a P for parentheses. They talk about grouping, and really grouping is a little bit more accurate. Parentheses, those are what you have learned about so far, okay? The other 2 things we're going to talk about are other forms of grouping, but you've not worked with them yet because they're skills you don't learn until 6th grade. So parentheses is definitely one way of showing grouping, but another way would also be absolute value, which again is something you did not learn until this school year. So I'm going to draw the absolute value symbol there. And if I had numbers inside those bars, like a 6 minus 2 or 3 minus 8, whatever's in there, I would solve that first because I have to solve it in order to calculate what the absolute value is. I have to know what number I'm taking the absolute value of. So I have to solve what's inside of that first. And the final way would be if you see a fraction bar. And a fraction bar could be written horizontally, it could be written diagonally, and it also is going to be used to represent division as well. So it's going to have a few meanings here. The reason that fraction bar is written down here is because if you do have a long fraction where there is like a math problem in the numerator and a separate math problem in the denominator, you would have to solve those individual problems first, solve the numerator and denominator separately, and then piece it together. So there's 3 different ways that we're going to show grouping, which goes under the P. Now exponents we will work on later, but exponents is new this year. We've already done the unit on it because we had to we had to do the exponent unit before we did the order of operations unit so we could apply them. Now everything you do with exponents this year, you're going to end up having to do by hand using the expanded form because you will not have a calculator for order of operations. So you will have to convert an exponent number with an exponent to expanded form in order to calculate it. So you won't be able to use that y to the x key or the x squared key. You will have to go through expanded form. Now multiplication and division, I have those listed on the same line because they are the same step. And you go from left to right when you are solving these. So for example, I'm not always going to solve multiplication before addition, or excuse me, multiplication before division rather, because division may come before multiplication in the problem, and they're the same steps. You just do whichever one comes first. Likewise, addition and subtraction are also the same step. So I would just, of those 2 operations, I would do whichever one comes first from left to right in the problem. Or maybe I have 2 addition operations in the problem. Again, I would just go from left to right, or 2 subtractions. I would just go from left to right in the problem.